Hey guys, welcome to the recap of my 7-day dog care challenge. I hope you're all finding the 7-day challenge useful and you're actually implementing it into your dog's daily routine. Before we go into a quick review, I just wanted to remind you that this 7-day dog care challenge, it's just a starting point for you. And yes, this 7-day challenge is absolutely going to help you have a more well-behaved dog. But here's the secret. Here is my hidden agenda. This 7-day dog care challenge wasn't for your dog. This 7-day dog care challenge was for you. And yes, obviously it's for your dog. Your dog is going to benefit from this because dogs are creatures of habit. But guess what? So are we. So this 7-day dog care challenge is just as much for you as it is for your dog. So let's jump right into a quick recap, and I'm going to offer you a couple of questions that were asked of me on social media and email. Day 1, my crazy to calm formula. And yes, it was simple, but I did get a couple of questions. People were asking me, well, what if they need to correct their dog, or what if they need to intervene if their dog is doing something wrong or is somewhere it shouldn't be? Obviously, if you have to intervene and redirect your dog away from a bad behavior onto a good behavior, that's fine. And I'm not going to get into corrections because that's a whole nother video. I certainly wouldn't give a quick 30-second description on how to correct a dog. But yes, if you need to intervene in something your dog is doing, absolutely, we're not going to ignore it, especially if our dog is ingesting something or chewing on something that's potentially hazardous. Generally speaking, we want to ignore elevated states of mind, over-exuberance, excitement, stuff like that, and we want to reward our dogs when we're calm. And the purpose is most people have this uncanny ability to inadvertently reward unwanted behaviors. And day 2, a different kind of walk. I did get one inquiry on Instagram from a friend of mine. She was having some issues with her puppy. I think he's like 7 or 8 months old. She was trying to do the deliberate, controlled, structured walk, but I think they were out and about somewhere and the puppy was just so preoccupied. And I had to remind her that you need to start somewhere where distractions are low, especially with a puppy or a young adult. They get so easily distracted. So you want to start somewhere where the distractions are low, maybe in your backyard, your front yard, just up and down your street initially. And bring high-value food rewards to make sure you maintain your dog's interest in you. Day 3, our 3 mini sessions throughout the day. Obviously, I refer to them as do this 1 minute 3 times a day. Obviously, you can have longer sessions if time permits, but the purpose here is to get your dog working at all points throughout the day, in the morning, afternoon, and at night. More importantly, it's getting you in the habit of working your dogs a few times a day. And one comment I got on Facebook Messenger, the dog was struggling with basic obedience, and I did mention once before that if your dog doesn't know obedience, it's going to be difficult to do 1 minute sessions if your dog doesn't know anything. So yeah, you do have to make sure your dog knows at least sit and come. If your dog knows sit and come, you have 2 obedience commands that you could do 1 minute 3 times a day. And when you do your play session, that's the one you can go a little longer, right? Because then you're stimulating your dog mentally and physically at the same time. You're killing 2 birds with 1 stone, and you're really optimizing the efficacy of that session. And day 4, we talked about implementing a resource control protocol. Some of you may have heard it referred to as nothing in life is for free. And that's where our dogs have to earn something to get something. If they don't do something, they don't get something. Food, treats, affection, playtime, going in and out, whatever. If they don't do something, they don't get something. And what that does is that makes training an all-day, everyday part of life, right? We don't have to set time aside because training is just built into how we interact with our dogs. You'll be more inclined to make your dog work, and your dog will be more inclined to work for you and a lot more eager to want to work for you and her or his resources. Day 5, we're adding daily massage to your dog's life. And that is a great way to help with any kind of anxiety or help calm your dog down. And most importantly, it improves and solidifies your relationship with you and your dog. And day 6, we talked about eliminating stress from your dog's life. Now, I realize eliminating stress is impossible, but I did point out I was talking about stress that we have control over. Things inside the household that cause stress in the household among family members and pets. We can't completely eradicate stress, I get that. The objective is to minimize stress, and more importantly, giving you some tools to be able to identify if your dog is off a little bit and may be experiencing some stress in the household. We can't avoid stress in our dog's life, it's part of it, and I did get one inquiry about reducing stress, and that was the loss of a loved one. And I think I mentioned it in the video, we were talking about changing and reducing stress with things that we have control over. We have no control over if one of our pets dies, or a family member moves out, or a new one moves in. Like those things we really have no control over. That's kind of why I didn't cover it. But just an FYI, if you're watching this video, if your dog lost one of its pack mates or four-legged family members, yeah, certainly, they grieve like we do. So that is a stress that we would need to address. But for the purpose of the 7-day challenge, that wasn't one of the stressful experiences I was talking about. And day 7, we talked about adding stimulation in the form of recreational chews, fun training games, recreational treats, toys, stuff like that. Right? And that really is just the icing on the cake as we go through the 7-day challenge. Let's just say you go through all this stuff throughout the day, and then maybe later on at the day you give your dog a nice recreational chew. It's an excellent way to top off the day and make sure that we're doing everything in our power to help our dogs become as well behaved as they can, and more importantly, to enrich their lives. So I hope everyone enjoyed the 7-day challenge. And remember, if you're going through this challenge and you're having some issues, questions, or challenges, hit me up on social media, email me, drop a comment below. I'm here to help. And remember, this 7-day challenge doesn't stop on day 7. The whole purpose is to create a new regimen in your dog's daily routine for the foreseeable future. That's the whole purpose, right? We want a more well-behaved dog, we want to enrich our dogs' lives, and we want to have a better relationship with our dogs. That's what my 7-day challenge is going to help you accomplish. So keep at it, stick with it. Don't stress if you miss a couple of days or life gets in the way. You can always pick up where you left off. So thanks for tuning in, and don't forget, check out the full 7-day Dog Care Challenge playlist if you haven't watched it already. And I'll see you guys soon on my next upload. And don't forget to check out some of my other playlists. I have my Doggy Quick Tips playlist and my You Asked For It playlist. Those two playlists are pretty comprehensive. They cover a wide variety of topics that may help you on your dog guardian journey. I hope everyone's 2020 is going good so far, and I will see all you guys soon.